Welcome back to the XRHealth podcast, Therapy Without Limits, real conversations shaping the future of therapy. And today we're going to sit down with a member of the XRHealth community, a guardian of one of our participants who is a loving and wise advocate for her grandson and also our biggest fan on Facebook, which is great. Welcome, Ingrid.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. So I've got a few things to ask you today, but before we start, did you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a grandparent. My husband and I are raising grandkids. We have had the first one when he was only a few months old. He's now with XRHealth. He's 24. Then we have two more. One's at boarding school. Very hard to manage child, but we do love him. And the other one's living at home. And so I'm actually doing parenting, what you call it. Never got to retire for the third time. So it's keeping us very busy. I'm 73 and my husband's 74. So, I don't think we'll ever get to retire at all.
That's such a big job to take on.
It is, but I guess it's keeping me young and active, and I don't think I'll suffer from anything because I'm pretty with it, I think.
You have to be. You have to be so on the ball. So taking you back to when you first connected with XRHealth, what really stood out to you about our company?
I first saw it on Facebook and I thought, oh, gee, this is really something different. Our grandson loves the Oculus, so I thought, oh, well, that's for him anyway. And then, but I let it go and I didn't take much more notice of it. But when I eventually did join up, I think the staff, the way people communicate, and not just to family members, but to the clients themselves, they treat them like human beings instead of like a number, which is a really good thing. So we're very happy with what the service is giving us as a family and all.
That's so nice for you to give us that feedback. Thank you. We do try to make everybody feel welcome and a part of our sort of extended family. So I'm glad that it comes across that way. And when you were, if we think back to that time, when you were looking for services, did you find that there were challenges in understanding the needs of your grandson? Did you find that you didn't feel understood then?
Well, our area is sort of semi-rural, so there's not services available here anyway. And it was mainly my grandson. He actually burst into tears one day after coming home from OT. And he said, I'm not going and sitting in that waiting room with little 3-year-olds anymore. And that really upset me because I thought I was doing the right thing by him. And so that's when we went back to the Facebook page and I thought, oh, I've got to try this just for him. And we've never looked back, really. We haven't. I often walk past the room. He's got two rooms. One's his bedroom and one he calls it his man cave where he does all his little bits with XRHealth. He also has his laptop in there, he's gaming. And I walk past and all you can hear is laughing or them having fun, which, is good because they treat him like an adult, not like a 3-year-old. And, he's never complained. He's always, the only time he complains is when the little link doesn't work sometimes. But apart from that, he's really happy. So that's one big plus to me, when the kid's happy.
And so at that time, the challenge of going to the waiting room was one of the things that inspired you to change. But was there anything else that was going on at that point that sort of inspired you to move to a telehealth-based service?
Services are just not available for adults. And even though XRHealth covers all family members, like all kids of all ages, for the adults, it's very hard to find something good. And where they get treated like an adult, not like a baby or a 3-year-old. And honestly, as much as I liked the OTs and the physios and the psychologists, they talk to them like they are a 3-year-old. And I think, I didn't notice that until we got home and he got so upset about it that I thought, no, we've got to do something different. So here we are with XRHealth and off we go.
So I'm hearing that the flexibility and the convenience was super important to
Oh,
you.
it's in the comfort of your own home. So how can you go wrong? I don't have to go and find a car park. I don't have to go out in the bad weather. And, I just think he's happy. All they need is I mean, he's got an iPad, but he just does it on his phone. And, he does it all himself. He connects himself. He doesn't ask me for help. It makes him independent. So, it's a plus for everyone, I think.
That's great. And so, as a grandparent, supporting your grandson and your other grandchild can come with some emotions. So, what have you learnt along the way? What has this journey taught you?
I've become pretty tough.
I bet you have.
I stick up for them a fair bit, like very protective. I think that's probably the better word. I love them to bits, but we don't have much me time, and that's probably the hardest. I mean, we do have very supportive kids, and ironically, these kids aren't the parents of these kids, so they're the ones that are supportive to us. Which is good when they come with a bunch of flowers or a box of chocolates or a happy birthday card, and you feel like you're not so left out. It's pretty good.
That's so good. It's so good to have that relationship within your family. So, let's talk about some of the small wins. What are some positive changes that you've celebrated with your grandson?
I think that he is trying very hard, sometimes too hard. He is learning to drive, which is a real big plus for us because I've pushed it a bit hard, but I think he's out of the driving lesson right now. And, the learning bloke, he is so proud of him. He said, oh, it's good for him to get his license. It'll be a bit more independence. He is very scared of driving, so that it'll take a long time, but at the same time, confidence. Um, him himself, with XRHealth, I've seen him come in leaps and bounds. He's, looks forward to the sessions instead of having me, come on, we've got to go down to the office and, have OT or any physio or anything. He hated it. And, especially with dietitians, he hated going to them as well. We are so over the moon with your service. I can't fault it, really. You guys rock as far as
Thank you so much. You're our biggest fan. We love it. And we love your comments on Facebook too.
send these links everywhere. And, even on Facebook, sometimes people say horrible things. And I'm going, look, have you actually tried it? Go and try it. And if the kids are happy, well, how can you fault it? You know what I'm saying? They're learning and they're doing the right thing. And I'm really happy with the service. So people need to try it.
That's such good feedback. So cycling back to talking about looking for supports, when you found the right support, what was the day-to-day impact on your life?
The right support's right here. I'm talking to you. I think that's a big plus. You need to sort of look at the bigger picture, and ask the kids what they want. And I never did that with my grandson. And, I just automatically thought I was doing the right thing. And,
Hmm.
you're going to somewhere where you think, oh, he's getting good service. I don't know. He's 24, so he's locked behind a door with someone that treats him like a 3-year-old. So, I'm so glad that he did burst into tears because, it got sorted and I'm really happy with what we've got. So,
And what would you say makes a great therapy provider? What do you look for in a great therapy provider, other than things that you've shared, which is treating him like an adult and making him feel heard and making him feel like he's an important decision maker in his therapy? What other things would you look for?
I think that when he comes out in the lounge room and says, like he did this morning when he said, oh, can you see my muscles bigger and with the exercises? I think that I don't have to look for anything. He just the little bits and pieces that he says himself is quite funny to listen to. So, I don't think I would need to look anywhere else. I think I'm happy with the service. and people just need to check it out. And let's hope that there are a lot more happy people like I am. Let's put it that way.
What do you think that is underestimated about the role that you might take as a carer or the families in the journey of the participant? What do you think is underestimated from the
Well,
provider?
me myself, it's been really tough going. I started this group, grandparents, as I said to you before, grandcarers here in South Australia. We're with 13 grandparents. We've now got over 2,000 kinship carers, grandparents that are looking after these grandkids. And, it's hard because we get no support from the government. We get no payment from the families. So most of these grandparents are on pensions. So there isn't any support. You're using your own super money, which went pretty much the day you got the child, because you had to get a bigger car, you had to buy beds. So the challenges are very big. And, it's mainly in South Australia where the government doesn't support. Other states, they get an allowance, and we don't get that here in South Australia. So the challenges are, for me personal, would be, even the cost of living. And I'm grateful that I've got NDIS for our grandson, because otherwise I'd have to pay for his services. And, that's where XRHealth comes in. And, we're indebted to you, really, because you provide a good service and we're happy.
When did you start that organization? How long
Um,
ago?
23 years ago.
23 years. Wow.
Definitely 23 years ago. So been
So
very
the
since then.
so it's grown since then.
It has, and we're always on the doorstep of Parliament House here in South Australia. We've got no joke, we've stood on Parliament House, a lot of grandparents, and a lot of tears. We have monthly meetings right around South Australia now, even in the country, where they can come in for a coffee, and a biscuit and a grumble if they want to. But everybody's supporting everyone else, and that's all we can do. You keep supporting and you keep begging the government to just give them something, but they don't, and they still haven't. So we just keep plodding along. It might be too late for me, but there I've got two other little ones, so maybe not. I'm still fighting anyway. See how we go.
So this organization provides support to grandparents who have taken on children in their retirement to help them with those costs.
I think there's some grant that they were given for an education fund, which allows them to apply for $500 if you get stuck for uniforms, shoes, and things like that. But it must only be education. But there's no handouts or money given whatsoever. That it's mainly support now. But we've got a lot of people on board, and there's a lot of business people that are now finding, well, hey, this group needs help, and they donate gifts at Christmas time. So there is gifts for the kids that we can at least say, hey, give us your kid's name and age, and then you come and get a gift for your child. And it's been pretty good. Company Lego's donated a lot of stuff, so there is sometimes hampers for them if they're desperate. Bit of clothing maybe every now and then. We get people to come in with clothing that they can buy seconds or whatever. But we're working on it. It's a work in progress, really. Mm-hmm.
And when you say support, do you mean in the way of groups, like getting together and chatting, or what sort of support do you offer?
And that's all we do. We chat and
Yeah.
whinge. Coffee and biscuits. Everybody brings something, and we sort of have something. Even if you try and have a diet, we'll have a chocolate biscuit. But it's good because you can vent, and we're all on the same boat. It's a hard slog sometimes. And our oldest one is 95 years old, and she's got
Wow.
3 grandkids. There's another one that is actually a great grandparent who's got the grandkids as well as the great grandchildren. So it's really hard, tough out there. So, but we keep at it, keep smiling. That's what we have to do.
That's some incredible stories. And so we can donate. People can donate.
they can donate to grandparents for grandchildren. It's mainly grandchildren now, the grandkids, it's called. We have, I'll send you the link anyway, but it's a pretty full on, I can tell you. Yeah, but we're hoping businesses will come on board and turn it to something really great and magnificent for these kids.
Because that's what it's all about.
It is, definitely.
The future. The
Well,
kids.
you definitely got to look after them, that's for sure.
Somebody does.
Yeah.
Somebody does. So what would you say to other families who may feel stuck when looking for support for their child?
Oh, look, I'd say go for it and have a little look. You're not, obligated to do anything, are you? You can, give it a call, give it a ring, go on Messenger or anything and see what's happening out there. It saves you a trip to the office or wherever you're going to. I think if you could do it in the comfort of your home, even for younger kids. I've had a little gate crasher. She's said hello and she thinks it's wonderful that there's a person at the other end. So if it's all right for her, I think any kid can do it. I think it'll be good for them.
Fantastic. And wrapping up, so last question. What would be your piece of wisdom to give other guardians or grandparents who are supporting grandchildren or even children? What's your one piece of advice?
No, I love my grandkids. I really do. I often say, oh, I've got 24 grandkids and I can't give these back. But you know what? A bit of advice. If you have to look after them, take it on. And if you need some therapy, try XRHealth, definitely. I might even get some myself, I think, when I'm finished with this.
Maybe we need to put you on an exercise program so you can keep up.
Definitely. Oh, dear.
Thanks for joining us on the podcast, Ingrid. And join us next month when we sit down with Yuho Akita, an occupational therapist and PhD candidate, and we will talk about Yuho's upcoming research into the use of telehealth in the treatment of chronic pain.